Welcome to Spurs Vision TV. Right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world. Right, today we are playing Wolves at home. Right, to tell the truth, right, Wolves has got 0 points at the moment. So the Spurs PTSD will come back if we don't get the result here. But guys, I'm confident today we will get the result here today, right? And we will beat Wolves, right? Because we've got Thomas Frank, our defense looks solid. And of course, look at this time at the moment now. This is our lineup, right? Vic as the goalkeeper, we've got Spence, Romero, VDV, Udogi, right? Paulinia, Benny, Bergval, Zavi, Richie, and Kudos, right? On the bench, we've got Kinski, Danso, Gray, Tell, Poro, Brenda, Odober, Star, and Scarlett. So our squad looks quite solid at the moment, right? And of course, we're playing against the Wolves that's not won a single game, has not collected a single point, right? At this moment in time, I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to say anything about it, right? Big up. Let me see who's there. Big up, Manny. Manny, if you're free, you want to join me, I'll send you the link, right? If you're free and join me, I can send you the link, right? Selamat pagi, actually, here in Malaysia now. It's in the morning. I'm sure it's in the morning in India too for you, right? What do you think? Spence starting right tonight? That might be his preferred position. Yeah, Spence looks quite. I mean, he can play left and he can play right? But he's been looking more impressive on the left. But to tell the truth, to me, it doesn't matter. He looks quite good on the right too, right? But maybe it gives Poro a rest because don't forget, on Tuesday, we're looking ahead to another game in the Champions League against Bodo Glimt, where we're traveling all the way to the Arctic Circle to play a game, right? Okay, Express Gary Doherty is captaining Wolves tonight. Yep, no mercy showed to him. Yep, I know. Gary Doherty, we bought him from Wolves, and in the end, we had to sell him back to. I didn't even sell him back to Wolves, right? We had to give him away because I think we just canceled his contract and all that, and then he was a free agent. He went back to Wolves, right? So that's one thing. That's one thing to be said, right? And of course, let me see. I'm not sure, Money. You're free. If you're free, I'll send you the link, right? And let's see how far Spurs can get this done, right? And of course, if we win tonight, right, we'll go second behind Liverpool, right? And you'll be surprised, right? Liverpool first, Crystal Palace second, Sunderland third, Bournemouth is fourth, right? And we at the moment we're sitting on 7, right? So that's how I see at the moment now. All I can say is that, right? Yep, Bodo Glimt, same team that played. Yep. I know. They were the fine team, and you did well to beat them. Yeah, we had a lot of fear during the Europa League, right? The cup run in the semi-finals, right? And we were so afraid that we lose to Bodo, but we actually went out there and we actually showed them something, right? I'll probably watch the match and join you at halftime and near the end. Okay, Manny, I'll drop you the link. You can hop on anytime you want, right? And you're free to join me, right? Let me get the link first. Let me find the link. Where is the link? All right, let me see. It's this one. Press this. Press forward. And the list will come out. And I'll press money. All right. All right, Money. The link's been sent to you. If you're free to hop on, let me know. I'll bring you in the back room, right? So, guys, at the moment in time, right, all I can say now is that today is one thing that we need to. What we're gonna do is we have to show that we are serious, right? And let's not have this, all those things that we were before, right? We ain't there anymore. After winning the Europa League, we've broken the curse, right? So tonight will be something different, right? Something different, right? With Vic there, Spence, right? We can. The bench looks strong enough. The squad looks strong enough. We can bring on the players to actually enhance us in the halftime or after 60th minute, right? We've got players like Poro still there, right? Brenda is still there, right? Brenda is our tap-in merchant. Even though he's our tap-in merchant, he's scoring the goals, right? Odober, Sa, Scarlett, right? Scarlett, surprisingly for me, is Scarlett's there because most probably we do need a backup striker just in case if Richie gets injured, right? Well, hopes not. He really doesn't, right? But this game is not going to be simple because you're not mistaken. Wolves will come out and give us a hard game. They will be physical. Let's see how Xavi handles it. Let's see how the rest of our players handle this, right? For me now, right? Players are in the tunnel. The gathering up, coming out. You're not mistaken. Romero is the captain, right? Romero is the captain for tonight. Let's see how far we can go. Let's see whether we can collect all those 3 points to bring us second, right? Guys, tonight Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace, right? To tell the truth, right? I watched that game, right? Crystal Palace should have been at least 3-0 up in the first half. Should have been 3-0 up in the first half. Somehow or another, oh dear. Somehow or another, Alisson Becker had some great saves, right? Had some great saves in it. Big up to Jens. Yeah, well, it's going to be a tough one. Our record against Wolf is awful. Big up to Chris Agamba. Hope you're doing well, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Any of you guys want to join me for the watch along, let me know. Right, Chris, you want to join me for the watch along, let me know. I'll send you a link too. Right. I'm going to say now, right? Spurs are at home. We are at home. But to tell the truth, I don't think we did too well against them at home last season too, right? Our record against Wolves has not been good. But let's hope this is a change, right? Then to tell the truth, a lot of us are being a bit perplexed, right? Because how are we going to shoe in Xavi Simons as a number 10, right? I was talking, I was in a show recently. I was saying, why don't we change the formation, right? Why don't we play 4-2-3-1, right? Bring in Xavi, have two holding midfielders, and have Kudos on the left and Odobe on the right, and Xavi in the center, right? And get on with it, right? And put up Richie up front. Then it makes us a bit more solid, right? Or maybe we change to a 3 at the back, right? But at the moment now, it is what it is. Thomas Frank is using this formation. Maybe he's trying to get used to it. And to tell the truth, a 4-3-3 to convert to a 4-2-3-1 is quite simple. It's just moving the few chess pieces around, and you will have that, right? Spence is on the right. Christian Romero, center back. VDV, left center back. And of course, Udogi, left back. Vanderkoy, Yao Polino, and Bergval, right? Then you have Kudos, Richarlison, and Xavi Simons. Let's see how that goes, right? Let's see how that goes at the moment now. How far we can go from here. Let's see how far we can go from here, guys. All I know now is that, and guys, don't forget, right? There's a banner running at the bottom now. There's a banner running at the bottom. The MySpurs AGM is tomorrow, right? For all the MySpurs members are all welcome, right? And let's see how we run into that. Tomorrow I'll be doing a recording for that, but that wouldn't be live, right? That would be for us to keep as a record, right? For us to be kept as a record. Let me change the banner now. The game is going to be kicking off soon. I'm not sure who's coming off at the moment. Who's got faster? I'm not sure whether Eva Man is here watching because it's 3 a.m. in Hong Kong too now for her. Right? Eva, if you're in the chats, let me know because I didn't see you during the Doncaster game last Tuesday. Sorry, last Wednesday. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Oh, last Wednesday. All right, hope you're doing well. If you're watching, Eva, right? All right, guys. It's coming up to 2 minutes before kickoff, right? Let's see how this turns up, right? I want to see Spurs put up a good show, especially now with Frank as the manager, right? We should look more solid. We should look much more better than with Ange, right? And to tell the truth, right, guys, Ange lost to Sunderland in the previous game. Ange lost to Sunderland in the previous game. Chelsea lost to Brighton. Guys, it's a big upheaval at the Premier League at the moment. The only consistent team now, more or less, is Liverpool, right? Unless we can put in a win today, right, then maybe it gives us a chance we're chasing up there, right? And if, right, Arsenal doesn't win against Newcastle, right, we will be above them too, right? Right. Now there are trumpeters going on now, right? When the Spurs are marching in. Now we're going to change ends here. Yes, Eva, big up, right? Just got off the plane from Japan, just arrived home, just this moment, Eva. Oh, that's a nice. Hope you had a nice trip in Japan, right? And hope all's well with you and your family, right? I guess you were on holiday last week. That's why you weren't on the Doncaster game, right? Right, okay, and of course Ricky saying hello to Mani, right? Matt Doherty is not Ginger Pele, right? Gary Doherty is long retired now, right? Okay, for Eva, she's kicked off. So like as usual, I'm 30 seconds behind Eva as usual, right? Eva, right? All right, guys, kick off for Eva. Spurs are going to kick off now. They've done this flip around. Wolves have got this weird color jersey that's got on. All right, Mani's joined the stage. We got Mani. Hope you're doing well. All right, we've kicked off too.
Yes, Eugene. Good evening. I hope you can hear me. Or good morning, I should say.
Yeah, it's morning for you too, right? I think it's about
12:31 to be exact. The game's kicked off over here. Now, I think it's fair to say that the Mamak shop doesn't open that late for you to go and watch it with your friends, huh?
Oh no, the Mamak shop opens 24 hours, bro. The only thing is that there won't be any Spurs fans there at 3 a.m. in the morning. So unless it's a final, right? So I'm not going to do a watch along live over there alone. So
I remember. Yeah, you had the Europa League watch along there. I remember. How could I forget? But right. One thing which I will say to you, which has probably convinced me that you've made a shrewd appointment in Thomas Frank, is the Brighton game. Now, obviously, I don't like to remind you of that, but I do remember that horrible day at the Amex where you were 2-0 up and went on to lose 3-2. But to have the script flipped, for you to be behind and then come back to draw, I think you've sort of shown that there's a little bit more of a toughness to the team right now. Now, it will be interesting, though, to see if, hopefully not, but if you do have some injuries, as many injuries as Ange had last season, how Frank will cope with it. But for now, I think, the team looks quite solid. I would like to ask you, though, what did you think of your Champions League return against Villarreal?
To tell the truth, right, the Champions League return against Villarreal, we scored an own goal. I won't look too deep into it. All I say, I'll take the 3 points because that is more or less Frank's first Champions League game. It's a learning curve for him, right? They are totally different type of players up there now, right? And to tell the truth, right, I was quite disappointed with the Brighton game because we had that momentum, right, and we didn't push on for the win. After we got the 2 goals, right, we just set off, right? But at the moment now, Spurs looking strong. We are pressuring and pushing up against against Wolves, right? So I've been saying this, right, Mani? I've been watching us under Frank now for so long. I've been seeing us being a team of 2 halves, right? We come out one half, we're strong, and after that, the next half, right, we more or less we peter off. So I need that balance up. I need it to be a full 90-minute performance, not half and half, right? And sometimes we still have some bozo moments. I'm not sure whether it's that Ange muscle memory still, or the brain waves are still stuck in there. All these needs to be purged, right? But now, like I said, Frank has certainly been in charge more or less 7 games or 8 games now, including this game, because it's game week 6, right? Including the Carabao Cup and the Champions League. So he needs time to actually, instill his philosophy and, of course, his tactics and all that, and of course to flush out all the anxiousness out of our players, right? Because we still do see certain times our players do play a bit like that, giving the ball away, right? Looking a bit, I call weak in open play defense, right? But set plays moment now, we are more or less quite solid, right? We've been very solid in defensive set play and attacking set plays, right? Now, Wolves has got a corner, so let's see. It's not commentators curse and they score at this corner, right? So they have a set piece. Yeah.
And it looks as though you're probably about a few seconds behind me, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. I promise you that. And
don't worry, Everman will let me know if anything happens.
I get that. I mean, whenever I see some of your chat streams, Everman's always there to provide you with the moments. And the trick is to don't check the chat until things actually happen, and then you'll find Everman's comment over there. By the way, big up to everyone in the chat. I see Everman, Ricky Villa TV, Jens, I think, right? And
yeah.
So it should be there's something about these late evening Premiership games. Obviously, they're irritants for the people who have to travel all the way, and you have to spare a thought for the traveling Wolves supporters who will struggle to get back to the to that West Midlands Birmingham area safely and in good time. But you have to say that it's very relaxing for those people watching TV back in the UK. Obviously not for the likes of you and me because, we have to stay up a little bit late. But hey, if we can stay up late for European games, what's a Premiership game, huh?
Yeah, I'll watch every game that Spurs play, right? You know me. Oh, come on, defense. Wolves are they're pressuring us at the moment, Wolves, right? So at the moment now, we are trying to break out. We're in the fifth. I'm in 5:15 now. What time are you at? 18.
Let me just check the time. I think I told you that I was. Yeah, listen. Without doing any big calculations, I think you're 30 seconds or so behind me. So
more or less the same time, even man. Yeah, more or less same time, even man. Right, it doesn't matter, Spurs version TV never sing their watch-alongs, right? We always get reaction, reaction and delay reactions from around the world. And Wolves cross the ball in, and it's okay all the way back up to the right. Doherty, what can Doherty do? But at the moment, it seems.
Speaking of Postecoglou, I think there are still quite a number of mean-spirited Spurs supporters who are only too happy to delight in having seen him sacked and his struggles at Nottingham Forest. But I tell you what, I've seen quite a bit of I've seen a few of his games. Obviously, I stayed up to watch the Betis Forest game, which was being played over in Seville, and of course, as you know, Pellegrini is the manager of Betis now. Yeah. Brilliant first half from them. They obviously, you could see it's not easy to sort of come in and have a style change, but you can see that in many parts of play, they're actually doing really well, and they're not really making any big defensive mistakes. It is going to take some time for Forest to do well. I just think fans are being a bit too impatient with him, and I don't mean.
No, to tell the truth, right, Manny. Let me say so. Big up to Mr. K, right? Mr. K, if you want to join me, I'll send you the link. Let me know. Big up to Scotty. Scotty is doing his rounds, sending his kids around. No, to tell the truth, right? When Ange came to Spurs, right, the first 10 games, right, that basically covered a lot of all his weaknesses. And his start with Nottingham Forest now, right, they will have to give him time to slowly build it up and not have that false start that we had. You get what I'm saying? So whatever it is, I don't care about Ange anymore, right? He's no more Spurs manager, right? If he loses to us, to me, I'll be happy like shit. It doesn't matter. Just long Spurs win. But at the moment now, right, Forest are giving us a bit of trouble, right? And of course, Scott M says that Forest fans seeing that Spurs fans already know, right? Ange is, yeah, I know.
Yeah, Scotty. Listen, I'm not going to accept that, Scott. I'm sorry. That's out of order.
Now, Scott has never been an Ange fan. Scott has never been an Ange fan from day one, so it is what it is, right?
I understand that. I completely understand that. I don't want to speak about him anymore. But I think that he will be given some time to, really implement everything. And a large number of fans have basically have been willing to give him the benefit of doubt and say, you know what, he's building something different, and we're liking what we're seeing, and we're prepared to give him that benefit of doubt more than anything else. And of course, if he continues to be poor, then they will have to regrettably take that decision. But it's still early days, just as it's early days for Thomas Frank. So I don't know if I got to ask you this, but as much as you're liking what you're seeing right now, I know that you're not making the mistake of saying that you've got your Tottenham back just yet. So
no, I don't want that Tottenham back. That Tottenham is gone, money, right? Daniel Levy has taken that Tottenham and moved out that door. That Tottenham doesn't exist anymore, right? Or don't say we got our Tottenham back. I want a new Tottenham. Whenever he said that we got our Tottenham back, I feel caught. So he's not there anymore. I don't want this Tottenham back. I want a new Tottenham, right? Big up to Mr.
Exactly,
K.
I agree. I agree.
Spurs would give them, the points, right? Trophy Spurs are not to show we are broken the Spurs tag. That's what I hope, right? And of course, Scott says that I agree with Manny, right? It would be harsher, but holding back out of respect for Eugene Shannon. I know, Scotty. Scotty's
okay. Let's just agree to disagree and move on. I don't want to start a fight here, but we're talking about Frank now. So
Frank is out of the door. To tell the truth, right? All I know now, right? Whatever happens to Ange, right? In Nottingham Forest, right? That fat Mac deserves it. That's all I'm gonna say, right?
Okay.
Right. whatever it is at the moment in time, right? Let's concentrate on this game, right? With Frank in charge, and at the moment now, it's looking a bit shaky because Wolves has got control of the ball. Wolves has got a lot of control of the ball, right?
Yeah.
And of course,
I don't know what it is with these Portuguese managers.
The players that we need, and backing the managers that's lacking, right? Yeah, all fun money. Doesn't mean this. He doesn't mean to start a fight, just having some fun, right? Scott M, Mr. Casing, right? At least the ball, is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, we can all agree that that poor man's Lord Voldemort leaving the club is a great thing for not just Spurs but for football. If only we can get Kroenke out the door. But let me ask you this question right now, finally. What do you think would be an acceptable return for Frank and your team in his first season?
To tell the truth, right, I don't expect anything from Frank this season, right? I just need him to solidify the defense, right? Make us look a bit more composed in games, right? Not be so lost and blurred whenever you used to play, right? We used to do a lot of watch-alongs, right? I was always very sad watching the way that we play. So now it's no money. We've had 7 games, or this is going to be our 8. We've already had 8 games, right? We have already had 5 clean sheets. So that's the good sign, right? And whenever we are having our set plays and all that, I don't have that fear in me anymore. And whenever we have set plays, right, attacking, right, I have the confidence of actually feeling there's a goal coming now. All right, Udogi gets a corner, right? Udogi gets a corner now. Who's going to take the corner? Does it hit his hand? Oh, but hits the shoulder. Doherty hits the shoulder, right?
And yeah, go ahead.
And if we do get a trophy, I don't even expect a trophy. If we do get a trophy, it'll be a bonus, right? If we do get into Europe, it'll be a bonus for me too, right? Don't forget where we were last season, 17, bro. And the ball comes in, and we get another corner. Get 2 corners now, right? And I'm sure if there's
17th, but also champions of Europe, let me say. But I also want to sort of take you back to that wonderful interview you did with my good friend Craig Beasley for Up the Cherries in all departments. They still miss you a great deal, and maybe next time, Bournemouth play Spurs. I think what they're doing now these days is they're doing these reviews, these call-in reviews. So if I send you the link, if you're free, you're more than welcome to hop on and say whatever you'd like to say. In that interview, you were talking. Yeah, in that interview, you were talking a great deal about how much you enjoyed. You fell in love with Mauricio Pochettino and were absolutely buying into what he was doing. And in the 5 full seasons that he was there, he was building something really good, trying to take the team even further. And you had the dizzying heights of finishing second in both the Premiership and also, getting to the Champions League final. If only he had the good sense to start Lucas Moura and not Harry Kane, what might have been. But
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. It does seem to me that, part of the appeal of Frank is that maybe he could be that Pochettino-style manager who will just build things a little bit slowly. Would you concur with that, or do you see some subtle differences?
No, the thing is, to tell the truth, right? Building up a squad, it's not a team, a squad and a team, right? The first 11 and all that, we do need time. Nothing happens overnight, right? And we don't want false dawns like we had last season, but at least we did still get the trophy. And Mr. K says, no, Scott M, I don't want a massive turnaround from Frank and the transfer market, but I see this recent transfer is a step in the right way. Levy paid the price for his part of the transfer. That's true, right? Right. And Eugene, my boys, has occupied the computer room, so I can't join you. Okay, no worries.
By the way, you might want to watch the TV because there's a big highlight that's just gone by.
Oh, it hits the post. Okay, that was close. Right, on target. On the subject.
Good save by Sam Johnson, pushing it onto the bar.
Nice one. Yeah, Kane. Okay, who's down? Richie's down. All right, the ball comes in. That's a nice one. Good save by the keeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Good save by the keeper, yeah. And Richie hits himself on the post. Kudos. Yeah. Good save by the keeper. That's a good save by the keeper, right? Yeah. Yeah. Massive record by Kane. Yeah. The Kane record in Germany, right? Reaching 100 goals faster than any other player in the Bundesliga at the moment. He holds that record too. Yeah. All right. And Richarlison, hit injury. He seems to be okay. Hold on. Richie looks a bit dazed. Will Scarlett be coming on for him? That'll be a good shot. Right.
Right. Is Johnson starting or is he on the bench?
Oh, he's on the bench.
Because I'm just thinking that if concussion protocol dictates that, Richarlison might have to go off, I'm just wondering who you'd bring on. And bear in mind, there has to be an out-and-out striker.
Out-and-out striker will be Dane Scarlett, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. Let's see what Frank does, right? All right, Bergval's coming in the long throw. Ball comes in. Goalkeeper punches it out. All right, the ball goes back to Xavi. What can Xavi do? Xavi puts it all the way up to Kudos. No, Kudos can't reach it, right? He'll bring on Tell. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he'll bring on Tell, not Scarlett, although I prefer Dane. To tell the truth, I would prefer Scarlett too, right? Yes, I prefer Scarlett too. Right. And Manny, how do you feel about tomorrow's game, right? You're going up to Newcastle. Hasn't been a good hunting ground for you guys, right?
No, we have had our share of wins over there at St. James's Park. The only problem is they've been sort of few and far between. I think last season, if memory serves me right, we, I don't remember the result. I think we actually, no, we might have. I don't think we got a win that game. In fact, I'll just look it up right now. Yeah. The issue that I have going up to St. James's Park is that this season we really don't have any excuses because, since selling Alexander Isak, it's fair to say that Newcastle just aren't quite the same team, and they've also struggled this season, it has to be said. And they've got their new striker, this tall fellow named Voltemada from Germany, who I think might be a bit of a better player than Peter Crouch. No offense. I know that Crouchy played for you lot. And he could potentially be a little bit of a problem for our centre-backs, especially when it comes to corners. And bear in mind, Newcastle do have some of the tallest players in the league. No mention needed of a certain Dan Burn, mind you. So he could be awkward. He could cause us some problems. I think since losing Isak, they've lost a bit of an edge. I don't quite think they're as solid in midfield or defensively as they were last season when they qualified for the Champions League. So I think they're struggling in a way. So we have no excuses for not being able to go up there and win. The only issue I have is that Arteta, being who he is, he's going to pick some overly defensive lineup, which will include the ex-Newcastle midfielder Mikel Merino. It shouldn't, but it is what it is. And we might not even go there for the win. And the worst part is that with Liverpool losing today, we should be going for the win. And yet there's a part of me that says that we won't. It's who he is, mate.
Yeah, I know. Most probably you start with 3 DMs, right?
Marino, Zubimendi, and Declan Rice. Go figure.
Yeah, I know. At the moment now, Spurs have control the ball. We're in the third quarter. We are putting the ball in, right? Xavi controls the ball or gives all the weight. Nah, too much on it. Right? Couldn't get it to Kudos on the left, on the right. Right? We need Kudos and Xavi to build a relationship that's, an understanding between those two players, right? And the only thing is that I've been seeing Xavi. Xavi needs to be a bit stronger in the Premier League, right? And he needs to put on his shooting boots because he has been given a few chances, but he hasn't taken it. All right. So all I'm going to say now is that
I think Jens didn't appreciate my cheap shot at Crouchy there.
I know. Yeah. He did say this, right? Oi, right? Don't diss Crouchy. And of course, this is Mr. K too, right? Switching phones, right? All right, guys. At the moment now, the score is still 0-0. Right? The games looks a bit balanced at the moment now. Spurs having control of the ball earlier. How would you say? Wolves are having quite a lot of control of the ball looking a bit dangerous. But now Spurs has got back control of the ball at the moment now, right? The only thing I don't like at the moment is sometimes when Romero gets the ball, right, he seems to be just walking out the ball, not quick enough, not fast enough, no intensity, right? But now we got to Richarlison gets the ball. All right, we got to throw in. All right. Did you watch the Liverpool game?
No, I didn't, I'm afraid. I mean, I did watch the second half of the Brentford United game, obviously, because, Steve is a good friend of mine. And quite a few people were predicting that Brentford would lose, especially with Mboma coming back to his old stomping ground. But I'll tell you what, Amorim is just taking the team further and further and further down. If he's not sacked, by the end of at least October, then that's it. United are so far gone, it's scary. And to all those naysayers who have been saying that Brentford are prime candidates to go down, get relegated, I've got news for you. They're fighting hard and still fighting fit. And obviously, I didn't see the Liverpool game. I mean, it was nice to hear that Eddie Nketiah...
Right? To tell the truth, right? That game, right? Crystal Palace should have been at least 3 up in the first half.
I heard you say that, yes.
Yeah. There was Alisson Becker. Wonderful saves, Oh. Can we get it out? We still got control of the ball. Xavi. Shoot, Xavi. Oh. Pulls back, but okay. Lose the ball again. Right. Couldn't link up with Bentancur, Xavi. He left the ball back for Bentancur, but Bentancur didn't read the game too well.
And like that is the thing that Liverpool have shown that they are, vulnerable at times. And when you come up against the Crystal Palace team that is, doing really well under Oliver Glasner, FA Cup champions, and they are obviously expected to do very well this season, especially in the Conference League, and maybe try and push for higher European places. It was always going to be a difficult game, but it's fair to say that Ibrahim Konate had one of his worst games.
Missed, Bergvall. Was it Bergvall? Bergvall missed the first time shot.
It might have been Bergvall, yes. But, that was a game today where Ibrahim Konate proved that he is past his prime. I'm surprised, really, that, Slot sees it fit to keep playing those two aging, creaky central defenders and not try and refresh in that position. I mean, he brought in Milos Kerkez, but clearly that hasn't worked. So defensively, they can be got at if you are aggressive enough.
They try to get Guehi, right? But Guehi, Crystal Palace didn't want to sell, right? Because they already sold Eze, they already sold Olise, they already sold too many of their prime players, right? So they didn't want to sell. And if they had sold Guehi, I think Glasner would have resigned on the spot. I think that was one of the threats Glasner was saying, right? You already sold so many of my players.
Yeah. I'm just hearing of that. I'm hearing of that. And it reminds me so much of when Trevor Francis, Lord rest his soul, who was managing Sheffield Wednesday at the time. I think there was talk about, one of his strikers. I think it was a chap called David Hurst, who was being coveted by Manchester United. And, Trevor made it crystal clear that if David Hurst were to be sold to United, he'd quit on the spot too. So I don't know if it's just, just some dramatics or some theatrics or what have you, but it does seem to prove effective. And in the end, it was moot because United got Eric Cantona and won the league that season.
Yeah, that's true. And Wolves got a corner now, right? So let's see anything happens from here, right? Somehow or another, there's a lot of argy-bargy going on. The ball comes out, hit out by Spurs player, gets back to.
Just seeing that Bergvall chance, I think he just completely, shanked it. He missed it completely.
Yeah. All right.
But this is something that, that Slot's going to have to work with. And he has to try to find a solution because I don't think that youngster, Jarell Quansah, is at Liverpool anymore. I think he's moved on to another club.
Yeah, Quansah to Leverkusen or something like that, right? Oh, that's an air shot.
Yeah, you're right. He is at Leverkusen now. You're right.
Yeah.
And
the only thing is that No, they tried to bring in Guehi, but and then they brought in a youngster called Leone or something like that. Right? And then, now even Leone is injured, right? So I'm not sure whether he's got any players in his academy to bring forward for slot. But at the moment now, that will be no. We already know that that Liverpool has got an aging defense, right? I was so surprised that they didn't continue Bergvall back heel. Yeah, all right. Yeah, and Mr. K says the Palace without their best players, right? Thanks, Arsenal. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget, right? Nketiah scored the winning goal.
Yep.
Arsenal player, right?
Their defense was finally in trouble with Nketiah in the room. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have him back at Arsenal even for this. He was never at the level. He'll get you an odd goal here and there and grab the headlines, but that's just it. Crystal Palace fans, enjoy him while you have it.
Why does Wang thinks he's come on, why Benton call giving the ball away again? You see, that's sometimes you see this, right? That bozo moment that we still have, right? Giving the ball away. All right, now. What's going to happen now? Come on, guys. Somehow another Wolves have slowed the game down. They're looking to find a way to break us, right? And somehow or another, our attack seems to be a bit sporadic and it doesn't look that well tuned and all that. So
yeah,
let's see what happens whether Wolves can get the ball, but somehow we steal the ball back.
I think it's fair to say that you did a lot better tonight than when you played Bournemouth at home. So
yeah, I know. Right. Okay. All right, Eva. So it's from a set play now, right? So this time I'm saying, yeah, yes. All the messages are coming in now. No, it's from open play. All right, let me see. No. Why VAR? There's VAR coming in. Offside. He's offside.
What was the pity? It was a beautiful strike.
Yeah.
Great work down that right-hand side for Spurs, but the offside flag just... I mean, I could tell by the lack of celebration that it probably wasn't going to be in their favour. But then that's the thing about this Wolves team. They know that they're bottom of the league, so Pereira's obviously set them up to do a bit more compact. Yeah.
Way offside.
So...
yeah, no problem. Yeah. We'll get more chances, right? We'll get more chances. Yeah.
Exactly. All you have to do is just keep, pounding them, and they will eventually break a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they know that they're bottom of the league, so they're just trying to be as, defensively solid and as compact as possible. Whatever they can do with a 3-4-2-1. What is it with these Portuguese managers in these 3-4-2-1 positions?
I know.
Formations, I should say.
Yeah, I know. Look at West Ham, right? They wanted Moyes out, right? Then they get Potter, right? Now they got Nuno. And do you think Nuno is going to be attacking and flair and all that shit? No, Nuno is going to play the counter-attacking football game. That's what Nuno does,
Exactly. Yeah. And it's ironic, really, because, I mean, obviously, our friend Keshav, he actually, I remember him on several call-in shows gone by, basically saying that,
come on.
Saying that as well as David Moyes did with West Ham, winning the trophy and all of that, the football just wasn't inspiring, and there was a point where, the team wasn't progressing, so he had to leave. But I tell you what, it's another example of how you should always be careful for what you wish, because you just might get it. And now West Ham have got another counter-attacking manager who will provide some solidity, hopefully keep West Ham up. But where does he take them any further? We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's true. Spurs gets a corner now.
By the way, there's a huge conspiracy theory going on Twitter that Nuno deliberately oversaw that home defeat to West Ham at Nottingham Forest so that he could get himself sacked and then take the West Ham job.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how far that's true, but,
why would you want to take the West Ham job, right? To tell the truth, right? Now Levy is gone, right? The new Levy is the Sullivan and Karen. You get what I'm saying? Right? Don't blame the managers. Right? It's all about the owners. All right. Yeah. And Mr. K likes Nuno too. Yeah. Nuno was never given a chance at Spurs, but too bad, right? Oh, handball. Yeah. Nuno was
I think he started well. I mean, at one particular point, you were top and we were bottom after 3 games, but then things completely went into a tailspin and he had to go. And at least under Conte...
You see, right? The problem with Nuno is like this, right? He was never the first choice. He was our 365th choice, right? And when he was brought in, right, he was forced to play a certain way that wasn't his style. You get what I'm saying? Right? Nuno was never an attacking flair kind of a manager, you know? So it is what it is, right? And then when he was forced to play 4-4-3-3, right? That wasn't his type. That wasn't his game. And the first 3 games we had 1-0, 1-0 wins, right? And then we were caught boring and all that shit. Then when he started to change his tactics, right, to be more attacking and all that, right? That's when everything went, you know, the wheels came off. You get what I'm saying? But of course, when we brought Conte in, right, Conte told the truth, right? It's got nothing to do with the managers, right? It's always the people who are on the top. So now, with that problem resolved, let's see whether with the new people in charge, right, bring us to the levels that we need to be brought to, right? Especially, for example, remember the Eze deal, right? You guys weren't interested in the Eze.
Oh yeah, Eze, yes, and we eventually got him. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were interested in him until Kai Havertz got injured. You get what I'm saying, not? Right, Xavi gets a yellow card. Right? Until Kai Havertz got injured, right? And we dilly-dallied on that deal for nearly a week or 10 days. That gave you guys a chance, right, to come in the swoop in, right? And who was to blame for that? Daniel Levy. So it's all I can say, right? He's gone now. And then once he left, right? I mean, once he left, right? Xavi came in. We got Muani on loan, right? In the last day of the window. So it looks like we're moving in the right direction. Let's see what happens in the January transfer window now. If in the January transfer window, right, we go for a proper left winger, maybe like Savio or something like that, right? Then times have changed for Spurs. You know, because now we do lack is a left winger. Spurs
I get that. And last season we actually lost at St. James's Park. Isak with the 12th minute goal. And we just never we looked impotent that day, it has to be said. And I just don't know if we're going to be any better tomorrow. If there's one thing I've learned, and one thing which I'm sure you'll agree with me, is that it's always the hope that kills you. Yeah,
of course, right. And Mr. K says, right, Nuno's first 4 games were the most solid I've ever seen Spurs at the back, right. The mid is supposed to help. And when they did under Nuno, Levy told Nuno to play differently. Yeah, maybe that's why, that's why, right? But now Levy's gone, right, Mr. K? We've done a job. We've done a job 4.5 years being Levy out. We've got him out, right? So now let's see how said. So he could bring Conte in, right? While being courted by United. Yeah, to tell the truth. In that day, when you bring Conte in and you don't give him the tools to work with, what happens, right? And to tell the truth, I pity Conte. He fought and got us 4th, right? And that was the season I remember, right? You guys went to Newcastle and you had to win to get top 4 or something like that, right? And then you lost and then you dropped off, Right?
And then that was actually after we came over to the Tottenham Stadium and lost that game too.
0, yeah, you lost that game too. And that's when your wheels came up under Arteta, right? And then, if not mistaken, that season you guys ended up what? 8th again, right?
We finished 5th, I think, and from there we've improved to get 3 consecutive second-place finishes.
Yeah.
But the thing about last season's second-place finish was that it was really only because the other teams in the league just weren't consistent enough.
Yeah, no one was challenging you, and then we just let Liverpool run away with the cup. That's all.
Yes, including a disgusting double defeat to Bournemouth home and away. I mean, matches like that really were a sign that we just weren't worthy of being champions that year. We were lucky to, still remain second. I mean, some of our performances, especially at home, were just diabolical, it has to be said.
That's true. That's true. But that's a weird thing, right? I've seen the way that Arteta has progressed, right? Oh, yellow card.
Dirty.
Yeah. Right. I was quite impressed. I think in season 3 or 4, right, when things you guys look so attacking, so dynamic, and all that. Then after that, when season 5 and 6 came along, right, he became pragmatic. You get what I'm saying? Right, so pragmatic, right? Yep. Jens Udogi is having a good game at the moment, right? And who gets the ball? Richarlison. Oh.
I mean, eventually you will break them down. You just have to be a little bit patient, because
but the thing is that we are not clinical enough, right?
Chance to attack you, but they haven't really forced Vicario into making any saves tonight.
Yeah, I know. But the only problem at the moment now, right? Our forward line has not been scoring enough goals, right? Most of our goals are coming from defenders and midfielders. Apart from Richie and Brenda Johnson, that's all, right? I guess maybe Brenda will be used in the second half, right? To tap in a goal to win this game or something like that, if it hangs on at 0-0 all the way.
Absolutely. And so another question I want to ask you is that obviously you've got a huge, shall we say, infirmary ward of players who are just not able to be a part of the first team picture right now. I think in January, if and when some of these players recover, are you going to look to send them out on loan? Because I'm not too sure they can really get up to speed in time to play a part in this campaign.
To tell the truth, right, at the moment we have about 8 players injured, right? So let's see how that goes. I think if Dragonsin come back, he'll be used to bolster up the defense. Takai is a new Japanese boy who's injured at the moment, right? And then Madison is long term. If Decky comes in, Decky most probably will get a chance to run out to play the creative role and all that, right, to help out Simmons. So all I can say now is that we do need, maybe we'll have to send. Maybe we'll have to send Archie Gray out on loan, right? That's all I can say, right? The rest of them most probably will be sticking around. Why is Udogi? Why Udogi is off the pitch? Now he's back on. Kudos is so strong. Look at that.
Yeah, I know why you purchased him. Yeah. You got some players in your team right now who literally would improve our side, my side, leaps and bounds. And it's a perfect, it's ironclad proof, if you will, that Arteta's talent ID is pretty much abysmal. He wants to get players who will sort of play the way he likes to play, sort of slow and boring. And of course, the big joke is that he's reunited that whole Real Sociedad midfield with Zubamendi joining Marino and Odegaard. And, we just don't seem, apart from Eze, we just don't seem to have that dynamism. And a lot of people are raving about Noni Madueke. And yes, his runs have, caused a lot of left backs problems so far. But he's seldom, if ever, turned in a really good cross. I don't even think he's scored. And there's a reason, and Chelsea fans will tell you that there's a reason why they got rid of him, because they were just sick and tired of his inconsistency and lack of end product. But some of the players you've got right now, we were crowing after beating you to Eze. And the ironic thing is you went and got Xavi Simons, who's proven quality, especially for the Netherlands.
That's true, yeah. And there's another foul right now. They're roughing up with Xavi Simons. Look at that.
But of course, Xavi isn't perfect himself. He has been criticized for, trying to ask for too many fouls. If he just focuses a lot more on his play, he'd be absolutely unplayable.
And we get another corner. Yeah, another corner. Let's see what happens from this corner. Right. But this game has been fast and furious, right? Back and forth, right?
Yep.
The only thing now is that see whether can we sustain this kind of intensity. That's the most important thing. And I guess the corner doesn't come to fruition because there's no news from either man. Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons gets a corner.
Yeah, more than 40 minutes and still no goal as of yet.
Yeah,
and,
From the count was foul for against Spurs, right? Nothing new there. Yeah, Mr. K. You know that. We know that.
And of course, further to my question about the injured players, one of them, of course, is a former Cherry who, after a difficult start, went on to be a pretty important player in terms of providing some goals, especially during your Europa League run. But he's injured now. Yeah. He's injured now. And when he recovers, I think it's fair to say that he may not make the grade under Frank, so you might want to move him on, yes?
Yeah. Yeah. Wolves are doing well, pressing and challenging. Yeah. They're very physical. Oh, good try by Bergwijn. All right, guys, we're into the 41st or 42nd minute, wherever you are, guys, who are ahead of me. All right. At the moment now, Wolves are holding up. But let's see how long they can do that. We'll be able to take control of this game. We'll be able to score. Udogi, but Stevens, Xavi didn't run on.
By the way, have you been keeping in touch with Heung-min Son and his exploits in Los Angeles?
Nah, not too much. But he scored. I've been seeing that he scored a hat trick and all that. Right? Not too interested in what happens in the MLS. Yeah, Ronaldo not quite the Bergwijn not quite the Ronaldo, right, in the box. Yeah, it's okay. Not quite the Ronaldo. Okay, at the moment now, I mean, it looks quite okay for us at the moment now. We look quite creative in attack, right? The movement seems to be quite fluid.
You're throwing everything at them but the kitchen sink and still not quite able to pierce their rear guard.
Yeah, the thing is that we're not clinical enough at the moment. That's all I can say, not clinical enough, right? I don't anyone able to play one or two on the left wing, yeah. Okay. Isn't there a call for and Polinia gets bundled over? Is there a VAR for this? Ball comes over the top.
From where I'm seeing, there might be a slight case, but
okay.
You know, I don't know if the referee's been asked to go to the VAR monitor and check yet.
Poro's not playing. Poro's on the bench, Mr. K. Maybe you need to bring him on the second half.
By the way, did you see that shot from Kudus, which was saved by Johnston?
Yeah, there was a shot from Kudus. Right, so at least a shot on target for us.
Yeah. And so that's the thing, like, you know, you mentioned that when Kulusevski comes back, he might be given a chance. But he's got some tough competition now in Kudus, I would say.
No, it's good, right, to have competition, Manny, right? We must have competition in the game, right, to improve our players, right, to bring the standards up.
Of course. Goes without saying.
Right. Is there... Right. All right.
Ex-Spurs man Doherty very much in the thick of the action. I think he was booked earlier, but clearly, you know, he wants to try to lead Wolves to a win here. First win of the season would really be a big fillip.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, of course, in addition to Newcastle and Arsenal, Unai Emery's Aston Villa will be playing Fulham, hoping to get their first win of the season in the Premiership. I did catch their Europa League clash against Bologna. They were doing well in the first half, but in the second, I think they just lost a bit of steam. And if it weren't for a fine goalkeeping, a piece of goalkeeping near the end, they would have had the win snatched away from them and had to settle for a draw.
Yeah, a foul in the
I think
box. Foul, yeah.
there is a trend right now that a large number of teams and their managers, they're showing signs of playing really, really well and doing well, but just not really getting. Yeah.
Richie couldn't reach it, but I still get a corner.
Certainly not Richie Rich at the moment. It's Richie poor because Richie's looked poor so far.
But he's offside, I think.
Yeah. And as I was saying, there are a lot of teams and their managers, especially, who have, shown signs of playing really good football, but just haven't had the luck they need. You just think that maybe once their luck turns, things will change. And this is the thing about the Premiership. It's so unpredictable and it's so beautiful.
4 added minutes on. Seriously? Spence goes all the way back to Vicario. Vicario to Spence. Wolves is now got the low blockers. All the way to Kudos. Kudos. Oh. The only thing is that I hope that we can come out in the second half and play it this way. You get what I'm saying? Now? And then we get a throw in. So I guess, guys, it's halftime for you guys, right? More or less coming up soon. Do we get anything out of this, Eva, man? I doubt it, because Eva hasn't given an indication. Oh! Ah! Romero wasn't on target. Oh, no. Oh, God. Udogi came back to defend. Udogi is having a good game, I think.
Yeah, for all the talk about how well Jed Spence is playing, I think with Udogi, he just offers you so much more as a left back. One of the things which I really don't like, Eugene, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this.
The only problem with Udogi is right. He's a bit weak on the defensive side, but he's actually improving a lot this season. Right? Going forward, he's a bit better than Spence because Spence is not that, Oh, yeah. All right.
But then that's the thing, like, Udogi is left-footed, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, so when you have a left-footed left back, you will expect that, he's going to overlap a little bit more, just come into the attack right down the wing and really provide more in terms of width. With a right-footed left back, as Spence is, you don't get that, really. And,
all right.
Udogi will obviously try to improve his defensive play and will become a much better defender. But with Spence, I guess, that versatility is not a bad thing. And, watch this, Eugene.
All right. Is it me or the officials are against Spurs, right? Most of the calls, yeah. All right, this is going to be interesting. Ball comes in. Oh, hits the post. Doherty. Halftime, Eberman. Eberman says halftime. All right.
Your former defender, Gary Doherty, nearly scoring against you, lads. You know what? This has been a very, very interesting game, and I want to thank you for sending me the link. For those people who were predicting that it would be a blowout by halftime, you've all been disappointed. But Spurs should still win this. I just need to keep.
I tell you, right? I'm not. I don't think I wasn't ever actually confident that we're going to smash them in the first half, right? I've got this slight fear because it's Wolves, right? We've never actually done well against them, right? So let's see how that goes. But at the moment now, we look quite okay in the first half, right? The intensity is there, right? We threw nearly everything at them, but somehow or other, we're still going to get the ball into the net, right? But Wolves does look a bit, they does do look a bit dangerous, right? Whenever they have the chance to counter attack. But let's see how long this can last, right? This intensity, whether Wolves can maintain it and whether we can maintain it, right? And if we can maintain it, I think we will break through, right? Like what you say is right. The only problem is that, like I said, I've always seen us being, a team of two halves, right? The first half, if we play like this with so much intensity and all that, right, we look good. But then in the second half, right, somehow or other we drop off, and that's when the opposition will take advantage of us. So at this moment in time, the score is 0-0. The game looks, to tell the truth, a bit more for our side. We had more possession. We looked more dominating, right? I think we had more shots on goal, right? A couple of saves from Johnston, right? And I think Vicario has been having quite an easy time at the moment, with not much an attacking threat from the rest of the Wolves players, right? So right, second half, right? He says second half Wolves will waste time and play counter only. Yep, I guess they will, and then they will be physical. They most probably will be kicking at us in that half, right? But guys, at this moment now, let's see what we can do. The most important thing now is that what changes we can make, right? Will Frank bring on Poro, right, to give us a bit more in the crosses coming in? Who else can we bring in the midfield? Will Saar come on, right? Will Saar come on? Well, let me have a look at the. Let me have a look, right? Okay, Guy is hopping on. Hi, Guy. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Cool. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. As you know, with our family here at the moment, got the game on. But yeah, what did you think of that half, mate?
I guess that half was quite okay, right? We did look
Yeah.
dangerous. We had a lot of chances to put the ball in the net, but somehow or another we still couldn't get it in, right? That's why I'm having a look at the moment now. What can we do in this half, in the second half, right, to actually get some changes in? So we do have Brenda on the bench. We do have Paul Road who still can come on, right? And of course, and Sa. And to tell the truth, I don't want to see Talon. That's one thing.
No,
I don't want to see Talon.
no tell.
None of us want to
Did
see
you see
Talon.
Bergval? Did Bergval's what has Bergval been taking Brazilian pills?
Or maybe he's been getting Brazilian lessons from Richie, right? Right. And what the
Yeah,
Sport
man.
M says, right? Mr. K says this. We are missing that number 10 that can break defenses. Xavier and Bergwijn are not there yet, right? And of course, right,
Well,
awful first half.
Xavi's not in the 10, is he? Xavi's not in
ISO,
the 10.
yeah. And of course, listening, it didn't seem any better either. Yeah, I know. Once the ball didn't get in the net, right? Somehow
No,
or
well, I
another,
mean, here's the thing. We haven't been bad. We've been making mistakes, but it's not like I want to throw a can of beer at the TV kind of mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's true. That's true. Bergwijn has been taking American football pills, looking to get field goals every time he takes the shot. Yeah, yes, Scotty, right. But all I can say at the moment now, right? Looking at the squad, there's a few changes that I think that can come in, right? Further down the line, Poro can come
Oh
in,
yeah, definitely.
Brenda can come in, right, and Sa can come in, right. The only thing
Yep.
is that I don't know, Richie. How do you feel about Richie? Right? Has he been doing well, or he needs?
Right. It's like Xavi, he's all right. I think we're all right. We're not great. Here's the thing: it's like we've been making mistakes. There's some good balls in, but you know that you know hitting balls off the woodwork. You know, not being as clinical as we should be. But
Mhm.
here's the thing: I'm not sitting here being angry, as you can tell in my voice. I'm just like, oh, it's a game of football. You know what I mean? It's it's not like,
But
oh, it's amazing.
yeah, it's not amazing or we're shit, right? That's the one thing I gotta
Yeah.
say. But no, but Guy, remember I've been always saying this, right? Games of two halves, right? I'm afraid, right? If this is what we can give at the best in the first half, right? I'm afraid that we will drop off in the second half, right? Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's not
If
good
it
enough,
is,
especially for a
yeah,
home. We're at home. We're at home, so we should be dominating this game. But it is what it is, isn't it?
you want the link? I haven't sent you the link, right? I'll send you the link if you want the link. Hold on. Let me send Mr. K the link. Forward to Mr. K.
Yeah, I can only jump on at half time because obviously I thought I was like, yo, I'm just gonna catch up with my boys. Oh, you see my new top? Let's go.
All right, Mr.
K. Please, man.
Okay, Mr. K gets the link. All right, send Mr. K the link. All right.
Yeah, what did you think? What did you think? I think it's an okay first half. I don't think it's like the best we've ever had.
Yeah, the thing is that Wolves were physical too, right? Kicking at Xavi and all that. So that's giving them a bit of, I have been saying, right, the whole time, right? Right, Wolves will be physical against us and give us a run for the money. But at the moment now, I don't think. Were you ever? Did you feel threatened by Wolves at all?
No.
Yeah, that's true. Never feel threatened by
Wolves. I hate Wolves. You know I hate Wolves. You know I've got zero respect for Wolves, man.
Yeah, you hate too many teams, right?
For many reasons.
Yeah, for many reasons, right? The most thing is that most right now we're just gonna sit back and laugh at Manchester United. That's all.
Oh yeah. Remember? Did you see? Remember, you were in the you weren't in the show, but KG was like, "Yeah, we're winning this." It's like, shut up! You think you win one match against a shit team? You think you're gonna win another one? Shut up!
I know. But let's see how that goes. Right?
Today's results have been crazy. Not gonna lie, they've been crazy.
Yeah, no, even Chelsea lost. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Losing to Brighton. That's the weird one, right? Now all the Chelsea fans can't come on show chest, right? That's why we need to win this game, guy. At least on Tuesday, right after the Champions League game.
We gotta win this.
Yeah, then we can go on the review show. Right?
Sorry about the light. Yeah, sorry about the light. It looks like I've got a laser beam on my head, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, I don't see why we can't put a couple of goals in. We were close. We've been closer than they've been.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The only thing is that yeah, Mani's here too. So more or less we got to see what.
What's up, guy? Good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, fam. Just spending some time with the family this weekend, bro. Yeah, Ricky.
Lovely to hear that.
Yeah. Evening guy. Yeah.
But yeah, what did
By the way, who do you?
Go on.
No, go ahead. Sorry about it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and Graham Potter. Graham Potter's gone as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got sacked. It
was expected, really, and the worst part is I just don't know if he's ever going to manage again because it's tragic, really. He was brought in by Brighton based on his work in Scandinavia, and he had built this wonderful reputation. But then he goes to Chelsea. He literally ends up, on a hiding to nothing. And even his supposed rehabilitation at West Ham has not gone well. I just wonder if it's a coaching career that's been, destroyed beyond recognition and it will never recover. It's sad, really.
Yeah.
Manny, I think most probably he needs to go overseas again, right?
Just go to the J League. Go to a J League. Just go to a J League.
No, he'll come to M League, bro. He'll come to the Malaysian Super League.
Oh dear. But I've got.
We were just talking about Nuno going to West Ham, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Mr. K, why do you have cops on you as an avatar? What happened to Levy? We had to change all our avatars, right? Look at my avatar now.
You know what it is? I'm using a different phone. Because I'm using a different phone, I'm have got different I don't have a login account with StreamYard on this phone. Type. I don't use Google Chrome. I use Firefox and stuff. So with this one, I have to quickly look in my inbox. So this is something quickly I just put in there. Otherwise, it'd be blank.
Yeah, just quickly put something in there. But, like I say, I've got that, mate. Right. That's my favorite. I love that.
Look, on my other phone, I could give you a million icons I could use there. They're all relevant to Spurs. But on this phone, this is a second phone which I picked up because it's a really old phone and I needed it to make calls and stuff. So look, allow that. Let's just call it I'm the Spurs police right now. I'm making sure that Levy's locked up and not coming out.
Right. So okay? If you're the Spurs police, who would you hook from our first half?
I think to myself that there was a question which I asked at the beginning, which was basically in the past, a team like Wolves that hasn't scored a point, they would come to Spurs and Spurs would obligingly give them points. Someone who has never scored in the Premier League before comes to Spurs, and then all of a sudden they score against Spurs. Now, have we lost the Spursy tag? This game is going to define that, and obviously that's very hard because if I don't know if you noticed it or not, but have you noticed that a lot of the officials, like the rulings that they've done so far, have been against Spurs? Like that was a blatant foul inside the penalty box. It didn't matter if it was accidental or whatever. He got the ball. He kicked him in the chest. That's a penalty.
Yeah, it is.
Right? So why the hell was the commentators not saying something? Why was nobody else saying anything? Why were the Spurs players not running around? So this type of thing, right? Yeah. The difference is last year, Ange had got these players and said to them, "Listen, there's no point in complaining. Do not lose hope. Beat them." And that's what this team has now turned into. So whether we win this game or not, or whether we lose this game or not, is going to define whether we lost the Spursy tag. Somebody out there has to give Wolves their first points. Let's make sure it's not us. And also, if you notice something, we're on the same points as Arsenal. Right? So Liverpool's lost. So it seems to me that the heavens, Eugene will tell you that there's a betting syndicates around the world. And it seems to me that wants Liverpool to challenge wants Arsenal to challenge Liverpool, and they don't want Spurs to be in the picture. So this is the type of game that normally in the past we would lose, but now that Levy's gone, maybe there's not enough money.
Yeah.
Maybe these young players ain't gonna follow the script.
All right, mate. I've got to shoot.
Right now, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, Guy. What do you think? Right? Will we get win?
Right, shoot.
I think we should. I've got to shoot, but I'm going to be listening to the stream. You guys have a good stream, yeah?
Okay.
All right.
Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you.
Enjoy your family. Enjoy the rest of your night, yeah?
All right. Thanks for having
me. So, one thing you may have noticed, right, yeah, that with a team like Wolves, for example, that we're playing against, you needed like a number 10 or a magician, right, yeah, to step in. Now, we don't have one of those players. People like Xavi, they're not experienced enough yet in the Premier League. People like Tel, they're not experienced enough yet in the Premier League. Bergkamp is still growing as a player, but he's still not there. We're missing people like Madison. He's the type of player that can break that type of defense. So without that, it's going to be an interesting game of attrition. Who's going to get worn down more? Is Wolves going to dig in and be able to frustrate this Tottenham team and then secure either a draw or maybe catch them on a break and get 1 or 2 goals? I personally think that this particular Spurs team is going to show its true colours in the second half. If they win this game, then I'm telling you, it's game on. This season is game on. Frank must be rubbing his hands in glee if we win this game. But if we don't, then it just comes down to either a draw or a loss. And I would go all out for a win and say, forget the draw.
Yeah, that's true. Right? Like you were saying, right?
If we lose against this team, no one's going to be surprised if we lose against Wolves. Like, they're all going to laugh at us. You understand? Look, right now, Kane, let's look in the news, right? Yeah, Kane has scored 100 goals in 104 games. Right? He's got now the European record for the fastest 100 goals. Right? It's not just in Germany, it's in the world. It's in Europe. He's beaten the likes of Haaland, he's beaten the likes of for Ronaldo. Yeah. Right? So and this should be top. Like, if you think about it, he's only been there for how long? 2 and a bit seasons. He's got 100 goals. That means he's having to score something like 40 goals a season easily. The first season he scored 45 goals. Right? Yeah. And he was the highest scorer in the whole of Europe. No one mentioned him. He was number 13th on the Ballon d'Or this season. 13th. Yeah. So if you think about it, this team has proven to win a trophy against all the negative backdrop. What's he say?
Yeah, that's true.
I can't read that.
I'm making changes.
I can't read that.
You can't hear me?
Yeah. I think we do need to make changes.
We do need to make changes, but we're not making changes. The Wolves are making changes at the moment, right? So let's see how that goes. But we do know that Frank hardly ever makes changes at halftime. So that's part of it. So now the teams are running out.
So did Porro get injured last game?
No, I think Porro's been rested for the Bodo game, right? So,
right. So one thing Frank has been doing, he's been resting players.
Yeah, he's been rotating the players.
And he's rotating them, and he's not afraid of whether we draw a game or lose a game. He's not afraid of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's slowly getting used to it, right?
For some reason, he doesn't have the same level of pressure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, the game's kicked off. Guys, the game's kicked off.
You know,
we have not won 5. We have not won in 5 encounters against Wolves. All right.
Yeah, but did you notice towards the end of the first half, Doherty? Do you notice that Doherty at the end of the first half got a chance and goal?
Yeah. Hit the
He's fired up. Listen, let me go into the match.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to come out of this. Okay, I'll come back.
All right, Mr. K, catch you later. Doherty is off and Huang is off, right? So that's a weird thing, maybe because of the yellow cards. But Huang wasn't effective as we saw, right? So let's see how that goes now. Let me bring up this first. Where is this one? Yeah, it's still 0-0, guys. All right. 2 blokes I can't even begin to spell their names. Yep, I know.
Yeah, I've got that for you, Eugene. It's Emmanuel Agbadu and Jackson Chachua.
All right. A mouthful.
All I can say, Eugene, is that when you're from a South Indian family like yours truly, and your parents love giving you long names, you learn to pronounce long names by yourself because you are sick and tired of having people butcher your own name.
That's
and
true.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I remember when Vinay joined us, right? A lot of us were pronouncing Vinay. A lot of the Spurs fans were pronouncing Vinay's name wrong. I said it's called Venkatesham, and he said no. It was what Venkatesham, whatever sham, right? It's Venkatesham.
Yeah, but anyway, you're Malaysian, right? So you obviously know that there's a huge Tamil diaspora there. So you will know a lot of the really long names that are being used, especially when it comes to former sportsmen back in the day. As I told you, a lot of your nation's greatest footballers were, in fact, of the Tamil persuasion. Arumugam Rangasamy, among a few others, I remember.
Yeah, I know. All the old games. And have you not heard, right? Malaysia has been sanctioned by FIFA.
Never knew that. Tell me more about it.
We somehow or another we falsified some documents for about 6 or 7 imported players.
Imported. I know where you're going with that.
Yeah. So that's the weird thing, right? So let's see how that goes. Right. But now Spurs and Wolves are coming up. And it's the same thing again, right? It's a game of 2 halves. That's how we look at the moment. Right. And Wolves are coming at us early in the first half. And now Udogi gets the ball. Udogi gets a throw in.
Yeah. Clearly, Jens is also grateful for my ability to pronounce those names. So you're welcome, Jens.
And then do we get a free kick from this?
Yes, you do. That's all I'm going to say. No more spoilers.
All right. Unless we score from this, right? If a man will put 1-0 there for me to see. All right. Do we got to go, Eva man? Is there a score? Zavi. Kudos is there. Zavi is there.
So, Eva man, let me ask you, on which channel do you get your coverage of the Premier League?
Eva man, I'm not sure, right? For me, so I get it from Astro Super Sports, right? So, Eva man, I'm not sure. You gotta ask her because she's in Hong Kong.
Ah, right. Because I do seem to remember, obviously, long back in the day, that Hong Kong, India, and a few other countries were pretty much covered by the same broadcast service. I think it used to be called Prime Sports back in the day, but then we didn't have coverage of, English or European soccer. Then it became, Star Sports, ESPN, and so forth. And now it's just, back to Star Sports. There's no more ESPN. And I don't know if, that coverage extends to Hong Kong and the Far East.
Now it's Now Sports, Evelyn says.
All right.
She gets her from Now Sports, right? But the thing is that I remember in the early stages of the Premier League, right? Astro actually bought the rights for Asia to screen the Premier League. That's why a lot of you guys have to get your stream from weird kind of providers and all that, right?
Yeah.
Kudos gets the ball. Kudos, not too far back.
And mind you, it was really only, I would say, at the turn of the millennium that, coverage of the Premier League really took off over here in India. Before then, it wasn't really considered. But then, obviously, it was decided that they had to try to dip their toes into that market, and that's exactly what they did. And grateful for that.
Yeah, it's big money, right, in Asia, right? The population in Asia is like half the world.
And of course, you can't forget about the bookies.
Yes, of course, the Southeast Asian bookies. Yeah, I remember the early stage of the EPL. We only get selected games, right? But nowadays we get all games. Every game is being played, right? So I guess the packages are done well, right? And the ball goes over the top. Nah. Offside for Kudos. Chachua. All right, that's a good name. And Scotty's falling asleep. That's it.
Well, it's early in the morning in Canada on a Saturday. Yeah. And unless he's got some work ahead of him, I don't blame him for feeling a little bit tired, to be honest with you.
Scotty's just bored, right? So, what the Scott says, Eugene, do me a favor, send me a message on WhatsApp when the game is over and wake me up. All right, I'll let you know. All right, that's call line 2. All right. Have a good nap, Scott. See you later.
Sleep well, eh?
Yeah, Frank is still reminding me of a 90 raver of, not on NDMA. That's why I say he looks like the Green Goblin, right? Whenever he's angry. Richarlison, can he get it too? Richarlison can't get those balls through, right? The cutting edge balls, he still can never get it done properly. He's no Harry Kane, that's one thing I would say. And now we're pressing like crazy.
Here's the thing, though. I do seem to remember taking a look at the formation. I know you got a 4-3-3, and you got Xavi Simons playing on the left as the left winger. We've got a similar issue right now with Eze. He's clearly at his best when he's playing in the number 10, but for some stupid reason, Arteta prefers to use him as a left winger, and he's not as effective. I wonder if you were to have Xavi playing in the 10, would your shape look a little bit better?
All right. Here it goes. Here it goes. I already told you, we're a team of 2 halves, right? Pathetic defending. Oh, own goal. Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Not too sure. I mean, what Vicario was trying to do there. No, it's not an own goal. I think it was Santiago Bueno who got the final touch.
That piece has paid off for Wolves. Vicario. Oh my God, they've scored. Yeah. And this is what we didn't want to say, right? Okay, Tottenham now accepting patience. Yeah. Right. And Mr. K was right. Right.
So much for getting a proper manager.
It bounces off Paulinia. But guys, it's still early in the second half. Let's see whether he can come back and score 2 goals. Right? Frank needs to make his changes now.
I think I've gone for a 3-1 Spurs win. I just wonder if I'm being a little bit generous as of yet.
And Mr. K is back with Danny. Charlie.
Yeah.
Guys, you didn't like my previous picture, so I thought let me go with something better.
Right. So, Eugene, I was asking you a question before that goal was scored. And just to recap, do you think you'd be playing a little bit better and a bit more fluently if Xavi was playing in the 10 instead of as the left winger?
No, I was saying this, right? Why does he change his formation to a 4-2-3-1? You get me?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, but I was telling Stel that too, right? When Stel sent me something earlier. So the only thing is that, right, stubborn, I don't say whether that's it, but let's see what happens now. Whether it's change, will he change his formation, right? Xavi, yes, in the 10, right? For 4-2-3-1, right? Sorry, caps lock. Yeah. Right, guy. All right, now we're down 1-0 against Wolves, right? Oh dear.
All I can say is thank you for agreeing with me, my guy. Pun intended.
Yeah.
Because, with Arsenal, we have the same issues. We played our best football with a 4-2-3-1, using a lone striker, or at least someone who could, be used as a false nine, who can at least hit a barn door. But whenever we go play with a 4-3-3, it's a lot slower, it's a little bit more pedestrian at times, and we rely more on, good fortune to get our goals. The 4-2-3-1 should really be the one that's used more often, and now that we have a proper striker in Gyökeres, we should be using that, and yet we're not. And this is really what drives me up the wall with Arteta, and how people will sort of try and tell me, Manny, you're being stupid. Arteta's doing a fine job. I see the games and we see what he's trying to do. So we're probably the better judges of everything than you might be, pun intended. And I still haven't forgotten how those two friends of yours came onto one of our streams and tried to gang up on me. I mean, it's all good. I mean, I'm being proved right. I'm being vindicated. But, at least people now will understand.
Guys, can I just interrupt there just for 1 second? Come on, the game is going on right now with Spurs, and we're just chatting away about Arsenal for no reason whatsoever. But I personally believe that goal right here was Frank's fault, because at halftime, Wolves went for a 3 in the back. They pushed more people into the midfield. They outnumbered Tottenham in the midfield. And when they kicked it off, they started passing the ball around a lot more than Tottenham were. And Frank was actually out of his bunk and actually was shouting at the players, telling them to do things. So he knew the danger was there, right, in order for him to be shouting instructions out. So really, that was really a lapse of concentration from Frank's side, and Wolves kind of caught Tottenham on the hop, and they deserved that goal, to tell you the truth. Now it's up to Tottenham. Now it's up to these boys and Frank to change a few things, and we'll see whether or not this is the old Tottenham that would go on to lose 2-0, or whether this is a new Tottenham that will either draw or win the game. And really, like I said, the second half is going to show us what type of Tottenham we've got. Xavi Simons is not experienced enough and not mature enough in the Premier League to play a number 10. Plain and simple. Now, just a quick little word on our colleague here from Arsenal. Arsenal has been the team that's been spoken about for the last 3 seasons, especially the last 2 seasons straight. So compared to what has been going on with Arsenal for the last 10 years, you guys are doing absolutely bloody brilliantly, and there should be no one bloody complaining at all. For crying out loud, how can you complain about a team that's everyone talks about as being the contender? Now the Man City have gone to one side, Liverpool's come in their place, and still people are still talking about Arsenal as being the contender. That shows you what Arteta has done with that particular team. So if there's anyone out there complaining, then they obviously are. They're not grateful for what's happening with Arsenal right now. Come on, it wasn't that long ago when you guys were coming below Spurs. So now there's not even a mention of Arsenal and Spurs. It's just a case of Arsenal and whoever's at the top. So realistically, you guys should just be grateful. I don't think there should be anyone out there that can poo-poo what Arteta has done at all. I think he's done a bloody brilliant job. And whether they win or don't win, it doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that they get constant exposure for however many years and constantly play in the Champions League. So they keep doing that. Their money and their revenue is going to go up to the point where they can start to buy top players. That's my 2 pence.
Well, I'm going to say right now that it's not that I don't understand where you're coming from. I know a lot of people who will probably say the same thing. But, the bottom line is, again, I'm not about to give him credit for what is effectively a 5-year rebuilding phase. This is the same person who promised that we would have trophies very soon, told us to be excited. And I'm not going to say he hasn't done good things as a manager, but he has. But he's not been able to kick on. He has not been able to give us what we really need. And, this is a little bit like when Alan Sugar came on TalkSport to criticize Piers Morgan and call him an ungrateful cretin. Sorry, but we've seen our team win titles, and one of the reasons why we ended up saying that Arsene Wenger had to go was because we were sick and tired of, competing and winning an occasional FA Cup, but not really challenging for the bigger prizes. And the same cycles are being repeated over and over again under Arteta. So this season has to be his last chance. It's as simple as that. Win us a big trophy, or out you go. And now back to the game. Again, I was saying in the first half that Spurs now have to be a little bit patient. But I tell you what, the thing about just like Sunderland earlier on today, Wolves have really shown a lot of grit and a lot of resolve, and it's not going to be easy trying to break them down. If they, you just have to wait for them to lose their concentration, but you've also got to make them make mistakes now. And we're seeing a change. It looks as though, and this is interesting, I think it looks as though Bentancur's going off and Johnson's coming on. So it could very well be a formation shift. You might be going into, could it be a possible 4-4-2? I don't know.
4-4-2. Hard to say, right?
And it looks as though Spencer's going off and Porro is coming on.
That's a direct change, right? Who's coming off for Johnson? 30. Bentancur is coming off.
Yeah, Bentancur came off and Johnson came on.
Can it be a 4-2-3-1?
Okay, so this is now you're going to demonstrate how good Frank is at adapting to situations. And I think quite clearly he's identified that his midfield needs to change a little bit. And that's kind of a good thing. This is why I think that everyone in the media respects Frank a lot, because I think he understands how the game works tactically. He's not exactly, he doesn't come with his own magic formula like Klopp did or anyone else did. But one thing he is doing, he's got a team that he's raising their game to make them a top half team. And in a way, if we end up finishing, 4th or 5th this season, I'll be very, very impressed, especially for these young players. The Jet Spence going off.
Yeah, Spence is coming off for Porro.
And Porro's coming on. I did say that we're missing Porro. I did say we need Porro.
Yeah, Spence is coming on.
Okay, listen, guys, I've got to come out of the stream for a bit, okay?
All right.
Listen, I want to come out of the stream for a bit. I'll see you guys in a bit, okay?
All right. Let's see how this goes now, right? Right. Well, but you're talking about midfield, right? Now we've taken off. We only got 2 midfielders on now. Think about it. Paulinia is off. So it's Paulinia and Bergval. So we're going to turn into 4-2-3-1. Kudus is on the left now. And Kudus doesn't like to play on the left. Kudus is on the left now. Guys, we're down 1-0. Do we have the resolve to come back? To draw this game or to win this game? And now Dr. Tottenham is back. Oh, Bergval. Yellow card.
And this is a problem, I think a lot of you, you and Mr. K were talking about how the youngsters in your team have just come leaps and bounds. But even with them, there are going to be moments when they just betray that little youthful immaturity at times.
Okay, that's a bad challenge, right? A yellow card challenge. Bergwall's in pain too. Right. Scott says that I think Spence showed today that his role is defensive left side fullback. Yeah. Ball set it out.
Emphasis on defensive there. You're right, Scott.
Oh, I said right, Scott. I already said that Spence is more effective on the left than on the right. So that's what we've seen today, right? But the only thing is that we came on the second half, right, and we fell asleep, and they scored on the corner. And we've been saying we've been good at defensive set plays, but somehow or another, lost the eye on the ball. It is what it is. We're down 1-0. Now it's time to see whether we can fight back, right? And I've been saying, right, we're a team of two halves, right? First half, we threw everything at them. We couldn't get the goal. Second half, right, we look a bit disjointed, and we've conceded the goal. And we give the ball away again. And we give the ball away again, and now they counter-attack. They're attacking again. The ball went out of play. Eva, man, so sleepy. Yeah, Eva. After my trip to Japan, jet lag and all that. Well, how's the trip to Japan, Eva? Right. The ball went out of play. Come back in. Did you go with your family? Was it business? All over top. When we reach Richarlison, nah. Richarlison will get to it. And we're down 1-0, Eva. That's the sad part. All right, now Wolves scored the goal. They have the momentum, and we look a bit still trying to find our way through, right? And we're saying that we weren't afraid of Wolves scoring, and somehow they did score, right? And what's going on here? Oh, Bergwall. And the one ball over the top again. Oh. And Kudus loses the ball. And now we keep losing the ball. Come on, Spurs, wake up. Oh, you went for a family wedding. All right, that's why you went. That's nice. All right. Which part of Japan do you go to? And like I said, we're a team of two halves at the moment. First half, we look impressive. We look good, but we couldn't score. Second half, we look leggy, right? We look lost. And we're letting Wolves into the game. And they've got to go. Right? So we better wake up fast and do something to score. Brandon Johnson gets the ball. Now Brandon Johnson's playing back on the right, and Kudus is playing on the left. Right. Kudus and Udogi. Oh, even Osaka. All right. Has the weather changed yet in Japan? Is it cold there yet now? Yeah, Poro, what the heck? What? Yeah, let's see what Poro does here. And we got Brandon Johnson, and
oh boy.
Ball goes top and goes out of play. Ball goes out of play. Come on, you Spurs, right? Okay, it was nice and breezy, not too hot. Okay. Weather change hasn't changed to cold yet. Yeah, our passing has been shit, right? All of a sudden, we don't know how to pass the ball anymore. That's why I said, like, Jens, the team of two halves. First half, we look quite impressive. Second half, we come out like, yeah. What's wrong with us? What's the referee holding ball for now? Who's going to control the ball now? Ball over the top again. I think that's how they try and catch us off. But Vicario catches the ball. Ball goes back to Vicario. Vicario gives it out to Porro. What's Porro going to do? Porro gives it to Brenda. What can Brenda do now? Brenda goes backwards. Gives it to Romero. Romero gives it back to Vicario. And Vicario is taken out. Romero slowly sauntering out again. The ball goes out to Porro. Porro, come on. Porro gives the ball back to Vicario. Vicario hoofs it over, and it's out. And what is Jan saying, right? I went to Japan years ago in November. Ex-girlfriend who was from there, okay. She said I didn't need to take a winter jacket and it wouldn't be too cold. We went to Nikko and it was snowing. It must be freezing there. Right. It must be freezing.
I know that in Japan, Sapporo is the part of Japan that's famous for being very, very cold. And their ice festival is obviously something to savor and enjoy.
Yeah. Been to Japan too. Guy says that. Remember, I took cooking classes. All right.
Nice.
Love the vending machines, right? The easy life. Yeah. Now, guys, Simon, if you're watching, right? Game of two halves, right? We were okay in the first half, and now we're shit in the second half. Somehow or another, we've lost it. Look at that. Look at that.
Sapporo, obviously, as an England fan, is very close to my heart because in 2002, that was the venue of England beating Argentina 1-0 in the World Cup, gaining revenge for 1998. David Beckham, go on, son.
Sapporo is cold in winter.
No, but that was during the World Cup. It was in the summer, so reasonably warm then, I would say.
Yeah, we can lose the Wolves. Yeah, it looks like it. We're going to lose the Wolves, Eva. Right? That's how it's looking. Oh. Siva puts it, Siemens put it, Xavi puts it in the side netting, luckily. Another corner for Wolves. Good catch by Vicario. Vicario will be faster. Throws the ball out to Porro. And Porro go. Porro gives it to Brandon.
Oh, boy.
Brandon back to Porro. And Porro loses the ball again. Siemens gets the ball. Xavi gets the ball. Goes back to VDV. Back to Xavi. Xavi back to Porro. Porro gives it back to Romero. Romero just slows down, takes a look, and then gives it up to.
Yeah, normally, when you come on as a sub, you're supposed to improve. I think Porro hasn't exactly.
Yeah, we can't. We're not supposed to, but we can. Right.
I think Porro hasn't exactly impressed since coming on as a substitute, has he, Eugene?
Yeah, he hasn't. But now he's got the ball, right? And Richarlison goes down. And Richarlison goes down. Yeah, that's why I said, right, guy? Wolves is going to kick him off, right? He needs to learn the physicality of the Premier League. This is what the Premier League players are going to do. This is English football. They're not going to be nice with you.
Oh,
right,
boy.
We get a corner.
There's an off-the-ball incident involving Brennan Johnson. I wonder if VAR is going to check it. Well, maybe they did, and they decided no case to answer.
That's Argy again. Plenty of fouls, stops the Spurs momentum. Yep, yellow card. Yep. What was Johnson doing? Johnson was at the other. Do we get a corner? Do we get a goal from this? I don't think so. No. And now Odoba and Sa is coming on. That means Kudos is coming off. Simmons is coming off. Yeah, it's looking more and more like a 1-0 win for Wolves, right? Bergvall and Simmons is coming off. Okay, what's going on here now? So now we're going back to 3 in the midfield. And someone other, Xavi doesn't look too happy. That's a good sign. Not to be happy while losing. Oh, come on, Porro. You can do better than that, right? Now, Odobe goes back onto the left. Kudos will go back onto the right. What the hell are we going to do with Brennan Johnson then? We have not created anything in this whole half. Not one attempt at goal. One shot at goal. This is pathetic. Come on, Spurs.
I think Wolves have defended really well. Those changes that Pereira made, taking off Doherty and Wang and bringing on a couple of defenders from the looks of it, I think obviously he wanted to pack the back, as it were. But they've also stifled your midfield, I think.
It's really poor, right? Dr. Tottenham is back. Oh, Richarlison. Oro needs to put more crosses like that in for Richie to try, right? At least. '80th minutes, guys. 80th minute, and we have not even had a proper shot at goal. What can we do now? What can we do now, right? We already got paid 4 subs, right? And these 4 subs are not effective at all, right? The game is just being shit. There's no pressing. All right, good block by VDV. Goes out the way out to Odobe. And Odobe loses the ball. Odobe is not good enough, bro. Odobe is not good enough. All right. Kudos. Kudos to Brandon. Brandon back to Poro. Poro. Don't lose the ball, Poro. Gets the ball back. Goes out to Romero. Romero gives it to VDV. VDV gives it out to Odobe. Odobe with Spence running across. Udogi. Oh, no, Spence. Udogi. Spence has been taken off. Goes back all the way. Odobe. Right. There's very little effort from any of them. Right. Zawi was throwing his hands up too often. Yeah. Got it came off. That's not the mentality required in Prem. Yeah. Romero couldn't do anything on it.
And more subs are being prepared. Frank really is rolling the dice at this point.
No, he's got 1 more subs left. Right, what else can he do? Tell is coming on. Oh, shit. Don't tell me Tell is coming on from Richarlison. Hey, guys, don't be surprised, right? Tell turned out to be hero, right? To get us this draw. What can I say? Dr. Tottenham is back, right?
Maybe the second coming of Eltel, from the sounds of it.
Palhinha tries a shot. Yeah. Tell is coming on to save us. I don't know.
Yeah, Wolves are making a change too. Strand Larsen's going off.
I think Wolves is going to strengthen up the defense, right?
Yeah, they're taking off their striker, and they're bringing on Tolu, the number 14. Might be a defender or a defensive midfielder.
And they got
just pack everything up. And
the players look so huge. Right, don't know yet, right? Yeah.
Tolu Arakadari.
Is he a striker? Is it like for like?
Let me look that up for you. He is a striker, so it is like for like. You're right.
Yeah. Udogi is coming off. Tell comes off for Udogi. So now we've got like 4 or 5 attacking players up front now. Come on, you Spurs.
Now, this is very promising. A blistering run there.
But nothing happens after that, right?
Yeah. It was Van der Ven who had a brilliant run.
And now we can't even do the long throws anymore because Bergval's out.
Van der Ven, of course, the Europa League hero with that acrobatic clearance. A blistering run down the left, but it was the Wolves defender who cut him off. Spurs still have the ball. Throw.
Yes, Simon. Dr. Tottenham is back. Right, I did say this earlier, right? Dr. Tottenham is back, right? So, yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yes, guy, I know this is shit. What can I say, right? What can I say? Dr. Tottenham is back, right? Remember I was saying, right? No points on the board. We will give them the points, right? That's what I feared. I hope this would not happen, but I guess it's not changed, right? We've got our Tottenham back. The Tottenham that I don't want, the Tottenham that I didn't want, right? But it looks like it, right? I wanted a win, not a draw, but now I just be happy with a draw because we don't look like we're going to win, right? We are losing every second challenge. We are losing every second, I don't know, our passing has turned to shit. We are a team of two halves, right? We look good in the first half. Now we are shit in the second half. We can't even put two or three passes together, right? If this keeps going on,
you're still finding your way into the Wolves penalty area. Maybe something can come of this.
No, but if this keeps going on, right, we can't blame it on Ange anymore.
Well, nothing should be blamed on him. This is a new season, and as you said, he's no longer your manager. So I will say to a lot of those fans who wanted Ange gone, this is the Angeless season. You own this. Do not blame Ange anymore. Otherwise, you're no different from Donald Trump, who credits the success of Thomas Frank and blames the failures on Ange. This is Joe Biden's economy, as he would say. No. This is all you.
Now
this might not even be Thomas Frank. It's all you.
We are throwing the kitchen sink at them. We've got like 20 players in the penalty box, and we can't even cross the ball in properly.
Absolutely.
And Wolves keeps giving the ball away to us, and we can't take advantage of it. Look at that. Look at that. And the break is on. A strong challenge from Romero. Guys, I don't know what to say anymore, right? Being a Spurs fan, this has got too much PTSD on me, right? Yeah, so I don't care about Ange, right? Frank's boy stuff, yeah. Players are playing like shite. Yeah, that's true, right?
Well said, my guy.
What can I say now? What can I say? Right? Are we going back to square one again? What can Frank do? If Frank can't do shit, then what's the point, right? Of all this. We've lost 2 home games, guys. Right? We're supposed to be strong at home. We're supposed to build a fortress.
I think for what it's worth, there should be plenty of stoppage time given because there have been some injuries, some, stoppages of play.
Eva says, right, Eva, have a good night. Go have a good sleep, right? She just got back from Japan off the plane. And she's watching this now at 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning in Malaysia, in Hong Kong.
Okay. Arigato gozaimasu. Sayonara. Have a good night.
Sleep well, Eva. Have a good night's sleep, right? And Eva's from Hong Kong, so yeah.
No, yeah, but she was in Japan, which explains the Japanese phrase. I just said, and as I called it, 5 minutes of stoppage time.
5 minutes of stoppage time. We can't do shit with 10 minutes of stoppage time. We're shit at the moment. Give us another half an hour, we'll still be shit, Manny.
Oh, you of little faith. You of little faith. Remember this season at the Amex, you got your lazy equalizer.
No, but in the MX, right? We were shit in the first half.
Yes, a team of two halves. I remember.
Right? A team of two halves, right? So in this game, right, we're okay in the first half. We weren't that bad in the first half. We could have scored, but now we turned to shit in the second half.
But I remember saying, one of the things which I'm not really supposed to like Spurs that very much, but
right. No, yeah,
forget about Bergwijn. I'm sure you're missing Pierre-Emile Højbjerg right about now. He's with Marseille.
No, Bergwijn's back with you in Holland. And the ball goes over the top. Here comes Guy. Guy's going to run, I guess. Roll, Guy. There goes our chance to rub it in KG's face, right?
I'm not ranting. I'm not ranting.
Guy, we got our Tottenham back.
Oh, yeah, we've totally got our Tottenham back. I mean, to be honest, we're bound to lose a game anyway, and it's always going to be to a fucking shit team that's never had points, and they're like, 3 points lane, bro. Let's go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just
no, that's why I said. That's why I said Dr. Tottenham is back, right? That's why we got our Tottenham back. Yeah.
Well, it's just our attack is toothless today, man. It's just random shots, and it's just like, okay.
But, Guy, doesn't this prove, right? We're a team of two halves, right? In the first half, we looked impressive, but we weren't clinical enough. We couldn't score. In the second half, we turned to shit.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. We just crumbled, mate. We just crumbled. Absolutely crumbled.
I know. Maybe Tell will save us the point.
By the way, guys,
totally,
you got any apple crumble on the menu today?
Oh no, I'm gonna have some gluten-free Tottenham cake.
Gluten-free Tottenham cake.
Never knew you. No, never mind. I don't want to say anymore.
Look at that. Brennan Johnson. When you're down 1-0, right? You bring on Tell, Brennan Johnson, right? Older man. What are you gonna expect?
Oh, mate.
No,
I
would rather we started with Tell, Odebeck, and Johnson, right? And being shit in the first half. Then bring on Xavi, bring on Kudos, right? And bring on.
You're totally right though. Like Xavi needs to realize that the Premier League is a physical game instead of tappy.
Boys, keep watching.
I know, Tell scores.
Nope. Nah.
Yeah. We get equalizer.
You jammy so-and-sos.
Wait. Don't say anything. I'm going to mute you. Don't say a thing. You can talk. I'm muting you. Yeah, I can't hear you, man. I'm just watching.
Oh, and he gets a yellow card. Get one more. Get one more.
Clearly, he didn't learn from the Hugo Ekitike fiasco.
No, but at least he got a yellow card, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a yellow card, but for Ekitike, it was a second yellow, and he got sent off. And Slot read him the riot act afterwards. I don't know what it is.
Oh, my God. Yeah, just Paulinho again. Take your shirt off, man. Show us your abs. Come on, let's go.
Right. Our strikers are shit.
Bloody hell, that guy's built like a brick shit house. Fucking hell.
Now we got 1-1. Why are we so happy with 1-1? Right? Shit.
Because we get a point. It's worth it, mate.
I want the 3 points. I want to be second.
Fucking, I didn't realise Paulinho was built like a brick shithouse, mate. Jesus Christ. And again,
he wouldn't have done so well in Germany if he weren't built that way. I mean, you know how these German players are. They're not soft, you know.
Nah, Paulinho.
Yeah, no, bro. But the problem is that's another goal from where's the goals from our strikers, man?
Yeah, it's where it goes from our strikers, right? Yes, Mr. K. Can we get one more?
Eugene, we just need an own goal, bro. We just need an own goal.
Yeah. We forgot the own goal part. But Tell is shit, right?
Tell is terrible, man.
Now Wolves want to come on.
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah.
And Vitor Pereira is not a happy chappy.
No, he's not. Fuck you with your 3 points lane bullshit. Fuck you. I'll take a draw, fam. I'll take a draw. After this
draw against bottom of the league Wolves.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it, mate, because the way we've played like bottom of the league Spurs.
My God. All right, guys. To tell the truth, right? I will take the draw, right? But that second half was so awful, right?
Yep.
I can't. Oh.
Well, here's the thing. I'm only taking the draw. I'm only taking the draw based on the performance, not the reputation of the club or Frank of our players. But we played like gobshite. I saw so many mistakes, like showboating and little flicks that didn't work, long balls that went fucking nowhere, fam. So I'll take a draw in this instance. I'm not pissed off, fam. I'm about to have a really nice risotto in about 5 minutes.
But all right, guys.
Risotto,
right.
Lovely.
It's going to be 5 a.m. here in Malaysia, right? It was a bloody awful second half, but somehow or another, we scumbagged a draw. All right?
We scumbagged it. We
scumbagged it, right? Guy will take the draw. I'm not happy because, to tell the truth, right? I expect much better.
Oh, yeah. We dropped points. I'm pissed off about dropping points, but
right. We always do this. We always drop points, right? And it's like Dr. Tottenham came halfway back. You know what I'm saying? Right? Not all the way back.
Just the tip.
Halfway back.
He just put in the tip, mate. He just used the tip.
And listen, let me say this. This is the reason why I like both of you, both Eugene and you, my guy. Is that you are not going to use this particular result as a means of saying this is the stuff of a great team. We play like absolute crap and we still end up with a point. Don't even think of doing that. A lot of Arsenal fans do this whenever we end up combating our way to a win or a draw, and we end up, crowing over it, saying we're a champion team. It's the sign of champions how we can play.
No. You're not just a champions team, mate. Presidents, CEOs, I've been texting all of yous and your fans saying that was a good performance.
Mate. Knock it off. He's a narcissist. We know that. He's Jose Mourinho without the trophies.
But yeah, no, I'll take the draw, mate. We played like crap, man, especially at home, man. Frank needs to learn from that. That was
the thing you said, right? It gives us the lift is because we got that stupid goal, right? In the 95th minute. You get what I'm saying? In the 95th
I called
minute.
It. Eugene, you got to give me credit. I told you not to lose hope.
He has more faith. He has more faith than we had. No offense. I was about to just close off, and then all of a sudden you guys were like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Right, mute you to see what happened." Paulinho for the win, fam.
Paulinho for the draw, not the win, bro. The draw.
Well, you know what I mean. Mate. I tell you what, if he doesn't sign for us permanently, our fans are going to be in fucking disarray, fam.
No, no, guy. If Enoch doesn't sign him right now, right?
Yeah. But he's given us bicycle kicks. He's given us tackles that will kill a man, and he's given us late minute goals, fam. Let's go.
Yeah. But all right, guys, I got to tell you, right? It's 5 a.m. in Malaysia. I got to end the show, right? I'll catch up with you guys later. But
all good, my man.
All right, big up.
One all again, ole.
Yeah. Eva Man was here, guys here with me now, right? Well, Scotty, right? What are you gonna say, right? Scotty's gonna be right. Meh again, right? It's gonna be meh. It looks a lot of meh, but you know, like I said, right? We scumbagged it, right? We scumbagged it.
Yeah, we scumbagged it. We totally scumbagged it. We scumbagged it. Yeah, we scumbagged it.
All right, guys, thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, right? And don't forget to go and subscribe to Ricky via TV, Shelves Like Spurs TV, right? All our producer, YouTubers, we share the chat, whatever. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't know what to say anymore. All I can say, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Catch you later.